Good morning, everybody. So today we present another subject in terms of receiver law collection, and we now today present a subject concerned to type of security for performance of obligation. So this lecture will explain some type of security for performance of obligation. First of all, you can look at the article 328. Except for form factor, the deposit is stable in civil law. Deposit is an act whereby one party, hereafter referred to as the depositor, transfer to another party, hereafter referred to as depository, a sum of money of precious metal, gemstone, or other valuable things, hereafter referred to as the depositor's property for a period of time as security for entering into or performs a contract. So deposit property includes money, precious metal, and other valuable but not valuable paper or property right. So we can have some delivery of property to ensure as opposed to the repayment. Deposit for the following reason. So there are certain things kind of reason to deposit, like deposit only to secure the conclusion of the contract. The deposit is given only to guarantee the performance of obligation. Deposits are given both to secure the conclusion of a contract and to ensure the performance of obligation. So when a contract is concluded and performed, upon a contract being entered into or performs any deposited property, so be returned to the depositor or deducted from the amount of an obligation to pay money. If the depositor refuses to enter into or perform the contract, the deposited property shall belong to the depository. If the depository refuses to enter into or perform the contract, it must return to the deposited property and pay an amount equivalent to the value of the deposited property to the depositor unless otherwise agreed. So we can look for some case study. Jay and Bob signed a deposit contract, $200 million, for Jay to transfer the house to Bob. After the deposit, the two parties carry out procedure to sign the transfer contract. The state agency said that part of the house was in the planning of the road, so both asked to cancel the transfer. So here the question: how to answer the above deposit knowing that the both parties do not know in advance the information about the house and the land in a road plan? So you can spend several minutes to answer the case. We move to the second part, the mortgage and property mortgage. Here are some common points. There are all ways to ensure execution of obligation with property. Property is understood is in a proceeding of civil court, not limited to a type of property. The property used for pledge or mortgage must be owned by the party initially, the pledge or mortgage. The Article 303 addresses the subject of dealing with the same property. The securing party and the secured party may agree any of the following methods of realizing collateral. Put collateral up for an auction. Secured party sell the collateral itself, and the secured party accept the collateral as substitution for the performance of obligation of securing party, and some other methods. If there is no agreement on methods of realizing the collateral as prescribed in clause 1 of this article, the collateral shall be put up for auction unless otherwise prescribed by law. So here's some various points. Previously, the property type movable or immovable. Currently, the property transferred to as flash as collateral. In Article 309 and non-delivery is mortgage. Article 317. Article 309, pledge of property. Pledge of property means the delivery by one party. Hereafter referred to as the pledger. A property under its ownership to another party. Hereafter referred to as the pledge, a security for performance of an obligation. We now look for Article 319, effectiveness of mortgage property. Agreement on a mortgage of property shall take effect from time of concluding unless otherwise agreed or specified by law. And the mortgage of property shall take effect again, third party, from the time of registration. We have some difficulty in land use right and housing. The land law and housing law record mortgage but do not mention property mortgage. Civil law does not have regulation on pledging the above asset and handling direction. The above property cannot be mortgaged if the land use right are mortgaged. The same owner receives the same treatment. Article 325, with respect to mortgage on the land use right without mortgage property of that land, but the use, so it also the owner of property on land. Such property shall also part of the realized property unless otherwise agreed. Not the same owner. The property owner is maintained and a new owner replaces the old land owner. Article 325, with respect to mortgage on land use right and land user is not also the owner of mortgage on land. Such owner may keep using such land within his or her right and obligation during the realization of the land use right. The right and obligation on mortgager in relation with the owner of property on land shall be transferred to the transferee of the land use right unless otherwise agreed. Security collateral. Security collateral is an act whereby a lessee of movable property transferred to a sum of money or precious metal, gemstone, or other valuable things. Hereafter referred to as security collateral property to the lessor for a specific time limit to secure return of leased property. In cases where the leased property is returned, the lessee shall be entitled to reclaim the security collateral property after pay the rental. If the lessee does not return the leased property, the lessor shall be entitled to reclaim the leased property. If the leased property is no longer available to the return, the security collateral property shall belong to a lessor. So we have some kind of like money, precious metal, etc. Other valuable such as deposits serve as collateral. Guarantee obligation, return of leased property not for other obligations such as term, movable, not for real estate. We have some consequences when property no longer exists or belong to a lessor and not this concept. Some security collateral is only applicable to the lease. Security collateral is only used to guarantee the repayment obligation, not to be used in guarantee the remaining obligation by a term. And if the property is not returned in the event of the property is no longer damaged, lost, etc., then the collateral property belongs to the lessor. So that's the question, the lesson for today. So if you have any other question concerned to type of security for performance of obligation, you can contact us at any time, and we will live stream to answer you anytime. Nguyen Thai Cuong report from Institute of Intellectual Property and Competition. And today is Sunday, 19/12. Thank you very much for your listening.